This is the first time I've ever attempted a project of this scale, and I did so completely alone with only the neighborhood feral peacocks as companions. Definitely recommend having a source of good service information, such as the Haynes manual, which is great, and I do recommend it, but I also ended up using VW service info for the 2.0 Jetta that I found online because it just had better diagrams and visuals. I will say that I found Google Gemini incredibly helpful for quick information and advice for tricky stuff like swapping out the flex plate for the flywheel and clutch. Definitely cross-reference all your information with other sources, and shout out to all those who posted their own clips because I couldn't have done this without you guys. There's no doubt that this project is a huge endeavor. There's a good chance I could make a major mistake and destroy my engine. But I'm learning a lot, and hopefully this information can help someone out there too. My transmission and clutch are completely great, so when I first started this project, my plan was to just remove the engine and then not have to remove the CV axles, the shifter cables, the driver's side motor mount, the starter, and then later do a shifter alignment. The problem was when I tried to separate the engine from the transmission and bell housing, it wouldn't budge. At first, I thought that these triple square bolts on the left side might be partly to blame, but these are actually completely separate from the transmission. And I really did almost poop my pants for a day or two, and finally, out of desperation, I realized I had to drop the transmission. So I undid the CV axle hub and freed the axles, and then realized the shifter cable assembly and also the hold down clip for the cables. And then when I removed the starter bolts, I noticed that the engine block started to separate. Yay! And I did not have to mess with the slave cylinder. And luckily there's a flex hose on the hydraulic line to the transmission, which allowed me to drop the transmission slightly without having to completely take it out. As you can see, it's supported on a block. The major problem was the extra long 2.5 engine left very little wiggle room on the passenger side to slide the engine over. So dropping the transmission slightly was necessary to have the wiggle room to get it out. Here are the hoist points which I used, and the two in the front. These kind of round circular loops are commonly used for the overhead support bar if you're leaving the engine in the car while you're working on it, like for transmission engine mounts and stuff like that. And I did have to look at the new engine in order to find these cast iron loops formed into the block on the rear, and these are what I used for the rear support points. I did go out and buy load-rated shackles and carabiners, which are used for towing, and heavy-duty chain rated for over 1,000 pounds. And here's my engine block coming out, and I can't believe I did it. Super excited.